Let me show you how to find the confidence interval using the TI and basically how to have it done in less than 2 minutes. Let's go. So let's say that we have this problem. A random sample of 100 observations from a normally distributed population possess a mean equals to 83.2 and a standard deviation equals to 6.4. Find a 95% confidence interval for mu. So let's do it. From my problem, I know that my population or N is 100, my mean is 83.2, and my standard deviation is 6.4. I use sigma because we're talking about the population. And then if I want to find the 95% confidence interval for mu, this will be the formula, which is the mean plus and minus the margin of error. Now by hand, I can go ahead and calculate it just because it's a 95% confidence interval. I have to put the z-score, and then look, all what I do is just fill it in. And then from there, once we have this area right here, the margin of error, you do mean minus margin of error, you get the lower value. Mean plus margin of error, you get the higher value. And then this should be our 95% confidence interval, which says that we're 95% confident that the population parameter is between 81.95 and 84.45. Now let's do this in the calculator. We turn the calculator on, then we click on stat, and then from here I want to go to test, so I'm going to move here, and I'm going to go ahead and go all the way down until I find C interval. Then I click enter. Now from here, you're going to see that they have the standard deviation, which is 6.4. The mean was 83.2, and was 100, and the level was 95. Now you can put 95 or you can put 0.95. The calculator will understand both of them. Click on calculate, and boom, we got 81.946 and then 84.454, which is exactly what we did by hand. So that's how you find the C interval using the TI.